This is Kendra.
And this is Brianna. Welcome to Camp Comparisons,
where she's in one camp and I'm in the other. So, Brianna and I went to see the Percy Jackson, the Lightning Thief musical. It was in it was in Orlando. I didn't realize until after we bought the tickets that it was more of a community theater project. I don't know what I thought it was going to be, but I didn't realize that so much. So it was actually a shortened version, it was for a young audience version.
Yeah.
But it was still really cool, and the most of it was there. I did realize later that some scenes were definitely missing, and some songs were missing too.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I haven't listened to the playlist, the original cast singing the songs yet. I really wanted to do that.
There's some really
good ones.
It's hard
to hear. I have a hard time hearing in the actual theater, exactly all the words that are being said, because they're saying it into, a microphone, and it's kind of, whatever. The sound is kind of bouncing around and stuff. But there were some of the songs that were so funny, and I was I want to know all the words to this song. I want to, look it up on Spotify.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it. We did decide that we're probably going to figure out how to see the full musical, and at some point we'll do our own little comparison, episode on just that.
But there was between the seasons.
So many facets. First of all, obviously it was a million trillion times better than the movies, because they basically followed the books, basically.
Yeah.
Sure, there was changes, but the changes were like the TV show, were minor, they didn't change, whatever.
They didn't change the main storyline or the fact that they're a way different age.
Yeah.
Or whatever, all that crazy stuff.
Although that's hard to say with the...
No, you got the impression that they were
That's true.
young.
They did a good job being young, yeah. And I did want to say that the musical Grover, is a really good Grover.
Yep.
Yeah.
He even bleats like a goat.
Bleats like a goat.
Which was really impressive. Not all humans can make that sound. So that actor did a pretty good job.
And they did mention Ambrosia in the theater, in the musical.
They did. But they did do this thing to Annabeth where they were saying how she wants to be the best demigod. Which is the same thing that they did in the show, which I never got that impression in the books, but maybe multiple fans have gotten that impression where, I don't know, it just was interesting to see that happen again in a different adaptation.
One of those words. Yeah, and then the thing about her being at the fight at the end of the story with Luke too.
So when Luke,
we discovered that there was things that happened in the TV show that also happened in the musical. Now, the musical came first, and then we discovered through the newest Olympian podcast that Joe Trace, it was the writer for the musical, and he wrote 2 of the episodes of the TV show. Right. So we were really curious how much of that was him.
And also, even before I knew that he was a writer on some of the TV show episodes, I was thinking before the TV show came out, the fandom already knew that this play was way better than the movies. It was a constant whatever. It was a thing that was brought up. Don't watch the movies if you want to see it. Go watch the play,
the musical. Yeah,
the musical. Because it's really funny and actually stays true to the the content and all that stuff. So I wonder if when they were making the TV show, if they were what changes were the fans okay with?
Yeah.
I mean, it just seems there was 4 things that were unique changes that were both in the play and the TV show. And I was it can't be a coincidence. That's a lot of the same changes made for it to be just a random coincidence.
Yeah. Well, I want to say this now because I probably will forget it by the time we ever do an episode on it. But one thing that Joe, the writer, did say was the reason they had her showing up when Luke at the final scene on the musical was because they weren't ever going to do another book. This was the end.
Yeah, they weren't.
So for her, they wanted her to be there and she even jumps in the middle and whatever. Anyways, she does it's a little different, but she's still there. But they wanted to end that for her as well.
Yeah, for her to also know that Luke was the bad guy and whatever.
So I thought that was interesting. That was obviously maybe this season 1 was we're not sure if we're gonna build season 2.
I was just thinking. I was thinking that because they didn't know for sure that they could do a season 2 until wasn't it announced that the project had the green light
but it was
a week after the last episode came out.
Maybe but it was definitely after. So obviously they had already written it, they had already filmed it, So anyway, so it was really fascinating. Very much liked it. I am going to have to, I want to actually get to know some of those songs better and stuff.
Yeah.
So
it definitely, like, something I really liked about it was that it was so funny.
Yeah.
And that is what people like so much about the books.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the songs were, like, ridiculously funny. Like,
yeah. We weren't big fans of the Annabeth. And I don't know if it was just the actress. It could have been. It's so funny. I think it's hard. It's crazy how Percy comes out so well in, like, people can play Percy well. But I think Annabeth's hard to play.
And I think it's because, I think it goes back to the fact that we see Annabeth through Percy's eyes.
Right.
And when you see her through Percy's eyes, you get, like, a specific, whatever, like, vibe.
Yeah.
But then if you just look at, like, the things she says, the things she does, and you don't look at it through his eyes, she's, like, kind of a different person, I guess. Or, like, she can come across differently to people who aren't, like, in love with her.
Yeah.
You know? And you kind of see that. Spoiler warning. Skip ahead 30 seconds to avoid spoilers about the lost hero. This is going to talk a little bit about the next series, but when the characters from the Lost Hero first meet Annabeth at the very beginning,
they're scared
of
her.
that book. They're like,
they don't get the warm and fuzzies.
Yeah, they're scared of her, and they don't really have much, like, love for Annabeth right away. And then her and Piper bond a little bit, and then it's whatever. But
and then as it goes, it gets better and better.
Yeah, but, like, she definitely, if you're not in love with her, like, she does have
true. It's
vibes.
almost like RBF, which stands for resting beep face.
Yeah.
Face, like the swear word for a female dog. The RBF. You know, like you look at someone who's like that and you're like, oh gosh, I don't want to talk to that person. But they could be like a great person. Just, you know, their face sort of settles into this look. And that's kind of like, I think that's with her. Is like
intense.
she comes across as this intense. Yeah, but I still think that in my head, Annabeth is the best Annabeth.
Yeah.
If I could just project it so everyone could see her. Yeah. Anyway, so that was fun. That was a fun outing. We went with Brianna's husband, Sean, and we had fun.
Yep.
It was good. But we're going to get back onto this episode. I was writing the notes to these scenes and realizing that usually I write what the differences between the books and the movies are. And there's just, like, this whole section where it's like, and none of this happens.
Yeah.
So I don't have as many notes, but we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll still have lots to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay, reminder for our spoiler warnings. We spoil this whole book and this whole season, and we often talk about little things that happen throughout all 5 books. But if we give away major character development, major plotline stuff, we will give an extra spoiler warning, so you can skip ahead if you haven't gotten to that book yet. And if we talk about the other books in the series, we will also give you a big old spoiler warning.
Right. Okay, good.
Great. Let's recap.
Yeah, so basically in our last episode, we just covered the beginning of episode 5 where we were outside the arch. They found Percy. He's finally part of the quest and, like, you know, like feeling like he's on board. Walking to Denver, not really. Meeting Ares in the diner, and then Ares decides to hold the satyr as hostage,
basically,
and send them on this little side quest, and that's where we ended.
Yep, that's right. So we literally start this next scene with them walking up to the water park, or I guess amusement park, because it's not a water park. So nope. This is like, this is gonna be this whole episode of just how, like, it's completely different, but once again we end up with, like, the same ending. I mean, they get the shield, so
this one was more different than any of the other.
Yeah, because Grover wasn't even there.
But everything was more different. Like, I feel like, yes, we started with, they arrive at this theme park, and we end with them with the shield and getting a ride.
That's about it.
But everything in between was completely different. Where with the arch scene, we did have that weird, like...
Oh, I'm thinking about Medusa.
Train. Oh, so Medusa...
was from, like, the second they walked up, right? Because Annabeth was like...
That was all different. So these main meet scenes are all different. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
But there was still some similarities to that. She fed them, and then...
Well, it's still called the Thrill Ride of Love.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
and Percy uses his water powers to help them out.
That's true. Okay, good. Let's get to it. We will get to this. Oh, my goodness.
Okay, so the first thing I have a note on is they have this cute conversation, because Percy's like, this looks like a horror movie. or he says, like, I haven't seen many, but this is the vibe. And Annabeth's like, I've never seen any movies ever.
Which, she ran away at 7. So are you trying to tell me that they raised her like I raised you guys? No movies before that age.
I guess, or like maybe they just didn't have. It's hard to believe that with the twin boys, like her stepmom's like twin boy, or her half
There
siblings,
wasn't
or whatever.
any movies
that they never. I'm sorry, you have twin boys, and you're never gonna put on a show for them or like a TV.
Or why not even for her?
I know.
Remember, she was a child
but
too.
When it was just her and her dad, maybe all he ever wanted to watch was like his, like, history.
Yeah.
You know, and so maybe like she never watched a movie.
She watched Greek history all the time.
No, not even Greek history. He was into like airplanes
World War
and
II,
like World War II.
Yeah. I don't know. I found that a little. I found it funny that I found it unbelievable because you guys
Didn't watch any.
Well, you might have watched a couple, but like Christina didn't watch her first movie until she was like 6 or something.
I think. Well, I guess if you count when I went when we went on holidays.
Yeah. No,
Sometimes.
yeah, because she's saying I never watched a movie. That's why I'm
never,
saying.
I know, and he's like never. And she's like, is there another kind? And so never. She's never watched a movie, which is funny then because at the very end of this season she goes off to Disney World, but she's never watched any
Disney World.
Yes, do you remember? Or Disneyland maybe?
Oh my gosh, I totally forgot about that, which is really funny because the trio.
Disney.
No, because it's Disney, so of course her dad takes her to Disney, but also the trio after the whole thing, like the actual actors got to go to Disney World and experience Disney World.
I literally didn't even know that.
Yeah, so it's funny that she says I'm going there, and they went there.
Yeah, but she's never seen any movies. Imagine going to Disney
after not seeing any
movies.
You don't even know what Disney is, Annabeth.
Yeah, I think she literally sounds like whatever that is. But I guess
so
roller
funny.
coasters are always fun if you're not gonna get killed by.
She's like, what's that mouse? Why is there a talking duck?
I would be so confused. Although,
anyways.
I guess, toddlers enjoy, but it's just because it's colorful and
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
So apparently she never saw a movie.
And then she's like, and then Percy's like, oh, well, we should fix that. I'm like, that's like a date. That sounds like a date.
I know. And she had a little just a little look past her face where she was a little bit like, ooh.
Yep. Anyway, so then they make their way into the rotating, thingamabob that you enter the park in, and then all of a sudden,
not in the book.
Yes.
This is another one of those. Immediately. This is a Hephaestus thing.
Well,
you don't remember. She goes
right away.
What I'm saying, what I'm trying to say is like the thing with the waterbed later, like the thing with Lotus Casino later. Like she comes in this knowing immediately that there's a god involved. Where in the book, they don't figure it out. Like, she even sees the little sign, the little ETA sign, ETA, which is for the letter H. Like, she's like, there's an ETA. And then she's like, oh, I'm so dumb. The ETA's an H, which is for Hephaestus.
Right.
So again, that's how he did the books. And in the TV show, they just have them know it all in the beginning.
Yep. That is true.
So, yeah. So, I don't know. You just keep getting a low battery. That's the second one. You've gotten a low battery thing.
I know. I never get to.
So, yeah. So we're getting, basically what I'm trying to say is that we're getting from this part, we're immediately letting her know that this is not just your average water park or theme park or whatever it is.
Yeah. It's not even a water park. It's just an amusement park. I know that.
Called Waterland?
Is it called Waterland?
Yes. The big sign says Waterland.
Oh, but they call
how
it
do you
an
know it's
amusement
not a
park.
Because
Percy says, what kind of, why would he build an amusement park? And then she's like, I don't know, because he found it amusing. And then Percy's like, that's not funny. And she's like, it's kind of funny.
Remember that was funny. It's like the funniest thing Annabeth has ever said in the whole show.
It is.
Yeah. So she says amusement park. You do realize that a water park.
No, but they walk by, and then she's like, wow, the god of craftsmen, obviously built these things. And you're walking by and you're seeing, out of the water roller coasters.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. In the book, they get in. They have Grover with them. Grover flies over the closed. It's closed.
Yeah.
You can't just walk in like these guys are just walking in.
Yeah.
And they have to climb over the
fence.
Yeah, the fence with barbed wire.
Yeah.
And
Grover just flies over.
Yeah. And they say as they're walking through, it was Ankle Biter Island, Head Over Wedgie, and Dude, Where's My Swimsuit? So yeah, it's definitely
so funny.
A water park.
It's so funny. Rick is so funny.
I know. I wish some of that was rubbed off in the TV.
Thrill Ride of Love is pretty fun. I know it's not like a pun or whatever, but like.
And so is Playing What Is Love while you're going through
Yeah.
it. Yeah, there is. It's just not as funny.
And Percy saying like, I think I've heard this before at the orthodontist.
You're right. They do, but the funny is in there some. It's just not quite as funny. They also don't go to a souvenir shop and completely rate it and come out wearing all.
Oh my god.
Waterland gear, which would have been funny to see.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. She also gets. This is where she picks up the little rubber ball that she uses in Haiti in Underworld.
Yeah.
Which I think she picks that up at the waterbed place right before she goes in.
Yeah.
Which we'll get, obviously.
They give it to Grover as a stress ball because he's picking his horns again.
And that's right.
Yeah.
But here's where she gets that because she like fills a backpack full of stuff for whatever reason.
No, because they dumped the other trash. They dumped Aries' bag like in the trash. Like away.
Not in the water park one because he doesn't even have Aries' bag.
Oh
yet.
yeah, that happens at the end.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying she randomly grabbed a backpack and stuff in it.
You're right.
So yeah. But anyway, so we missed that whole souvenir shop thing. They don't have Grover, but they do get this weird thing where he which. I kind of was like, what was the point of this? So he pushes the thing as all these gears happen and she's like, oh, wait. And he's freaking out. And she's like, never mind, just push.
I think it shows us two things.
Okay, what's
one, we get to see Annabeth use her mind to figure out a puzzle, which she does 1,000 times in the books, but we've seen it 0 times in this season so far. She's always just throwing a dagger and mouthing off to Aries. So we finally get to see her think about a puzzle, figure it out. And she's always telling Percy to shut up when she's trying to figure out puzzles because Percy, literally, his ADHD, he cannot stop talking to her. Anyways, so that was really good. And then we see the Celestial Bronze, right? Because that's the thing that's coming down to chew him up.
Does she explain what it is, or does he already know what it is at this point?
Well, we don't know. That's she explains it. Celestial Bronze is something that can only kill demigods or gods.
Right.
She doesn't say gods. Demigods are monsters.
Yeah.
But it could also hurt a god. But wouldn't kill them. And then normal metals is what would kill a mortal. And we learned that in the book pretty early on. I think when Chiron is explaining to him the sword.
The sword, right.
He explains that it's made of a special metal where
it can't hurt a mortal.
Wouldn't be able to, get hurt by it. But gods and demigods and whatever monsters can. And then he even explains how as a demigod you can get hurt by normal mortal weapons and godly weapons.
So
you are twice.
Double.
Yeah. And Percy was like, well, that's great. And we see this later in this exact book when they're in LA. They're roaming the streets of LA. And they come across these bullies, right, who are gonna mug them in the streets of LA. And Percy pulls out his sword and swings it at one of them, and it just goes right through him.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, I was thinking of the Rachel scene, but no, that in this book, it's that one. Yeah,
it happens, and he swings it right through them, and he knows it's not going to hurt them. He's not actually out here trying to kill this bully, but it
he was hoping it would startle them enough,
and it did for them to run away.
But we went really far off.
No, we didn't.
Oh, okay.
This is the first time we're learning about this Celestial Bronze thing. However,
so you're saying that's why they did this scene?
Yes.
Could have been that.
Except for I was thinking, well, because this thing where he swipes through a mortal doesn't even happen in this book. Or in this TV show, in this season. But then later, Luke, the bad guy, something about him that is brought up all the time throughout the books is he has a sword called Backbiter. And half of it is made of normal steel, and the other half is made of...
Celestial Bronze.
No, it's not Celestial Bronze. It's Stygian Iron. But that's...
No, his is Celestial Bronze.
No.
Are you sure? Stygian Iron is Nico's sword.
And I'm pretty sure that Luke also has... Because his sword is black. Celestial Bronze is bronze colored.
Mm-hmm.
But his sword... Luke's sword is half, black and half, silver. Steel colored.
Well, Rick Riordan Wiki Fandom...
Fine.
Says it's steel and celestial bronze. Yeah, I'm pretty sure only the Stygian iron, whatever that is just Nico's sword.
Fine. Either way, his sword is specifically made to kill both mortals and monsters.
Yeah.
Which is, like, a really messed up thing to have a
very
sword for. Because why are you out here trying to kill mortals?
Yeah, like, fine, you're supposed to have a celestial bronze sword so you can kill
monsters
and demigods. I mean, I get that for what for his purpose. But why mortals?
Yeah, like, it's icky. It's just,
icky.
like, unnecessarily cruel, and even, like, the process of forming that blade. I remember Percy saying that, like, it looked like the metal, like, didn't want to be together. Like, the two metals didn't want to be touching each other.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe, I swear he, like, mentioned something about that, and how, like, I don't know. And I think Annabeth maybe said how the process of making a weapon like that is, like, intense.
Yeah.
But I can't tell if I'm just imagining things now. But it is something that comes up later, so knowing...
So we're learning it now
knowing the celestial bronze, whatever.
So funny, I don't remember her saying much about it, but I think this scene was, like, so dark, and I know, like, on my TV, you can't see it very well. I have to, like, get my room dark enough to see it, so I kind of, like, missed something in this scene. But good.
Yeah. Well, so she's explaining about celestial bronze, and Percy's like, this isn't making me feel any better, because this can still kill me. And then she's like, oh, I figured it out. Just push through it. And then he's like, are you sure? Because remember when you said the fates, one of us were going to die.
I could be dying right
through.
I could be dying right now. Are you sure? And she does. And then the little 000 goes 1, and then she comes through and it's like 2. And for some reason, I don't know why, that, like, was really ominous to me. Like, oh my gosh.
Well, and then Annabeth says, like, well, clearly Hephaestus wanted to know if someone was, like, poking around in his park. And now he does. He knows we're here.
Yeah.
So that's why it was all ominous, because now Hephaestus is aware that they're at the park, which makes sense why he then shows up. It's not like he lives at this park.
Yes. Well, maybe he does.
No, he lives in one of his forges. We know this.
Okay, fine. He doesn't live in the park. So in this scene, right after they walk through there, you see them kind of walking through a little bit more, right? Like, you see, they don't get to the thrill ride of love yet because it goes over to Grover and Ares. But right before that, they do, like, walk through a little bit of the...
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's what I had done. I just wanted to make sure. But I was going to say that, like, here you have Hephaestus being told, okay, they're coming in. And in the book, it's a whole setup to catch Ares and Aphrodite in a just in this riding the thrill ride of love, right? So it's a whole thing with little Cupid, cameras there, and it's like, and so the thing is, this is the first you ever hear of the Gods TV network. Am I right? In the book, which
comes around many times.
So I was like, oh no, are we not gonna get this?
We better,
because it's. Anyways, I mean, I know we're not really there because there's going to be this whole scene with Grover and stuff like that. But in the book, there still is the whole, I want to say, I don't know, it says something like, about to, start recording, or we're going to come live. I'm going to be live in like 5, 10, or something like that, right?
Yes, it says that it's going to live stream.
Yeah.
Like this, like whatever's going on.
I wanted to see what it was called. There was an exact, it says live to Olympus. Okay, it's only live to Olympus. It doesn't actually say yet that that's a TV, but you find out later there's like this whole TV network the Gods watch. It just cracks me up.
And not only that, they're also controlling the weather. Like they'll tell like the guy who can make the weather.
Like the weatherman, who's actually a weather god, and he also can change the weather.
He's constantly getting like calls from different gods who are like, oh, I'm mad at like Tennessee right now. Like
send him a tornado.
Yeah, and then another god's like, no, actually I like it. And he's just like having to like deal with like all the gods telling him like their weather requests basically, and that's how the weather gets made. It's through that, which is so funny.
I feel like we're gonna lose that. But the point being is this is our first sign of like Hephaestus. Oh my gosh,
Hephaestus.
Will I ever say that right? Hephaestus, his TV. And like, or like recording and putting it out and to all the gods and stuff.
Yeah.
But we don't get that. I think the only thing we get is when they're on the thrill ride to love, they talk about
what happened to Hephaestus.
Yes, and they do mention that that his wife is dating. Do they say anything about Ares and Aphrodite?
Yes. So
okay.
This is, at this point right here, they're walking through the park together.
Oh, okay.
And Percy is like, so why did he even leave his shield here? Like, I'm so confused. Like, aren't Ares and Hephaestus, like, enemies? Like, why would Ares even be here to leave his shield here? Right. And then Annabeth's like, well, he kind of has a thing for, and then Percy's like, oh yeah, Aphrodite, right, I remember this story. My mom told me about it. And, and so he's saying, like, that's so wrong for them to, like, meet in Hephaestus's water park. Which it is. And the thing is like, they were trying to avoid, like, the reason why, like, in the book, that Ares brings Aphrodite to places like this
is to
abandoned
avoid
water
her
parks
husband.
that are, like, falling apart.
Yeah.
Is to avoid the attention of Hephaestus, because Hephaestus's, like, goal in life is to humiliate them. Like, that's why he set up this trap with the cameras live to Olympus, because he constantly wants to catch them and humiliate them. He does it over and over and over again.
Right. I mean, they are cheating on him, but that's whatever.
No, he's in the right here.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. So they're trying to, like, stay away from him. And in the TV show, they're like, oh, they're actually going into his space and doing this.
Yes. So, which is, like, it is worse. But also, like, it doesn't follow it just doesn't follow what was supposed to happen.
But maybe, am I wrong about this now? I would have to, like, re-listen to this part of this show. But maybe they did not, because realize they might not have went on this ride. Hephaestus could have gotten his shield somewhere else entirely and put it in. Remember, he put it in this ride. Like, it's all set up in this whole trap. So maybe they didn't go there and get it stolen. Does he say
Percy says that. Percy says, like, why was Ares here? Why did he leave in such a hurry? Like, why did he leave his shield here? So
that's interesting. I was going to say, because it's all, like, literally set up in this elaborate trap.
Yeah, well, I mean, think that
Hephaestus could have done that really fast, I guess.
Well, how long has it been that Ares been missing his shield? Like, I don't know.
I guess 50 years is like a snap of a finger to him. But
I don't think it's been gone for 50 years, but I could believe it's been, like, a few weeks. He's been off looking for this lightning thief.
Yeah, I guess so. Anyways, I was just wondering if maybe that's why, because it is weird that they would go to his theme park.
Because I think it's just that they suck even worse.
They're just making him...
Yeah,
like
they're...
we're going to smush your face into our affair or whatever.
Yeah, genuinely. But, oh my god, I just have so... This, like, whole thing is, like, so not on track with the actual myths of the actual Greek mythology people. And Hephaestus is not really a good guy. Like, they paint him out to, like, be a good guy, but we literally learn in this version of the Greek mythology that they're painting in this TV show, the only reason he's even married to Aphrodite is because he trapped Hera and then bargained for her. That's not a proper way to be a wife. You can't hold someone hostage and be like, I'll only let her go if I can marry Aphrodite. That doesn't make you the good guy.
No.
Nope.
No.
No.
Are you surprised?
No. But, like, I feel like they try to paint him out to be, like, this victim, and, like, at the end, you know, he helps Percy, you know, escape, and he's, like, supposed to be, like, this good guy, but it's like, excuse me, like...
Even in the books, they make him out as... They really do. In the books, that he makes him out as kind of, like, a nice, like, just, like...
Yes, because that's not the real myth of how he married Aphrodite. That's not the real myth. The real myth... It wasn't his fault. He never forced her to marry him. Oh. And it was actually Zeus. Do you want to know? Should I get into the real myth? I was going to get into it later.
We hadn't gotten to the myth yet.
Yeah, okay. I will bring it up when we get into it with the Thilo Rite of Love. Because
and it's a little bit hard because in the show we're going back and forth between the conversation with Ares and Grover and the thing. So we're like, it's kind of hard to stay on the exact scene. But let's go now. We go to Grover and Ares. And I would just like to say, it was nice to see that they ate some of the food.
Well, Grover wasn't eating.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that when we first saw all the food there, and then we come back, it's like all gone, and it's like a whole different table of food. So someone ate the food.
I'm guessing Ares ate all of it. But...
Really hungry. That was like 12 hamburgers.
He's a god. I'm sure it doesn't even make a difference.
But also, Grover had a few things in front of him, so he probably ate as well.
He ordered
wasn't just sitting
burgers.
there. Yeah, maybe. Okay, so we get back to Grover.
Right, and Grover is just doing this amazing thing where he is basically trying to find things about Ares that he could relate to, even though he's, like, lying through his teeth. I don't think he really likes these wars or whatever, but he's, like, trying to get Ares to open up to him by pulling these... Whatever, big.
I don't think he's completely lying because I looked up each war. So first of all, like, he's saying, like,
there's something awesome about. Sorry.
Yeah, well, first of all, like Ares was like, "Oh, what are you, one of those World War II buffs or something like that?" And he's, like, he's probably heard that a million times,
right?
And Grove was like, "No, I like," and he brings up the Turbot War, the Lobster War, and the 335-year War. So now the Turbot War was bloodless. It was between Canada and Spain, and it was a completely bloodless war. And I actually didn't write anything else about it. The Lobster War was about lobsters, and it was brought to a peaceful resolution between Brazil and France. And the 335 Years' War was between Netherlands and the Isle of Scilly, which I think I said that wrong. It's a UK
No,
thing.
that sounds
It's
right.
Scilly.
That's
And it was
right.
also a bloodless war, 335 years. Anyways, so he's actually literally picking the most peaceful of wars. So if it probably wasn't a lie that those are his favorite wars. He might not like wars at all, but out of all the wars, that would not really. It's just maybe a twisted communication.
Sure.
Yeah, so he picks these ones that were like very elaborate and they were like very interesting wars that weren't really wars. Right. And he totally gets Ares' attention at that point.
Yeah,
Ares
because
is
he
like,
says like, Ares is like, well, like basically no one died in those, which you're saying literally no one died.
Yeah.
And Grover's like, well, yeah, but there's something so cool about like immense power and then a quick surrender, right? And then Ares is like, no one really talks about those wars anymore. And Grover's like, well, they really should. And again, this is feeding into like what the gods want, right? Like if you like, they stay alive through
your admiration, your interest in them.
Right. So for Ares, just being interested in wars and talking about wars and whatever, like that's enough to keep him like alive, keep him in the world.
Because it like feeds them power almost.
Right.
Like, when you worship the gods or when you talk about them or when you fear them or when you anything.
Right.
Any attention.
That's why Artemis is so powerful because
all
the like people who there's people today, even with science, even with everything, who still like I mean, a full moon is still like a thing that people go out of their way to see, to take pictures of, to, put stones out to recharge them under the light of the full moon.
What's the full moon have to do with
Artemis?
Oh, Artemis. Oh my gosh, sorry. I thought you were talking about Aphrodite. Okay, good. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, Artemis, yeah.
And let's say Aphrodite. Beauty.
Love and beauty,
love.
yeah.
Like, so these things about them, if they get a lot of attention, it's like enough to feed the god itself.
Yeah.
And keep their power alive. So
Ares is appreciating the fact that
he's saying that people should talk more about these other wars and not just World War I and World War II. Like, they should really, dive in for the deeper, less talked about wars.
Yeah. And he just, that's like kind of where Ares suddenly like takes him seriously.
Yeah, he's like, so where do I know you again?
Yeah.
And then Grover has this like perfect
right?
smile of like, it's my little plan is working.
Yeah.
He's so cute.
And then do we go out of that at that point and go into the other one? Yeah, okay, good.
So now we're standing in front of we're standing in front of the Thrill O Ride O Love.
No, it's Thrill Ride O Love.
Thrill Ride O Love.
Yes.
And
it lights up right when they get there.
Yeah, and that's how they know
that's not ominous.
I mean, that's how they know it's the one. They're like, this has
this
to
is
be
obviously
the one.
it.
Yeah.
And yeah, go ahead.
And then Annabeth's like, don't even tell me not to be weird about this. Personally, I didn't say anything.
Yeah. I thought that was a perfect reminder of the hug. You know what I mean? It was funny.
And it's also funny because in the book, we like, Percy is saying like, I'm not going to go on this ride with you. And she's like, why? Like, Annabeth's like, why? We have to go get this shield.
It's the other way around. It's Annabeth says, I'm not going to go on the ride with you.
No way.
Yeah.
Because doesn't like...
Let me help you out.
When they start going down when they start like climbing down to the bottom of the empty pool to get his shield, because the shield's at the bottom of like this empty pool because there's no water running. Mm-hmm. And I remember Percy says something to her.
Well, she starts mumbling. Called the Thrill Ride of Love, with a tagline of, "This is not your parents' tunnel of love." Just saying. Anyways, this is the book, right? And they look at they can see from the outside the pool that's empty because there's no water running, and there's a little 2-seater boat, and it has the shield in it, and they're looking down, right? So, anyways, he says, okay, we're going to go in there. And Percy says, Annabeth, come with me. And she says, are you kidding? And he says, what's the problem now? Me go with you to the Thrill Ride of Love? How embarrassing is that? What if someone saw me? That's Annabeth.
That's so funny. I didn't remember that. But then doesn't he say something back to her? Because I remember when they start climbing down the pool, which you interrupted me, I was in the middle of saying. When they start climbing down the pool, he says something that like sets her off, because then she starts mumbling under her breath like, oh God, boys, they're the worst. Or whatever.
What happens was he goes, who's going to see you? fine, I'll do it myself. And he started down himself. And then she followed, muttering how boys always mess things up.
Oh, okay, that's what it was. So he's really just being chill about this.
Yeah, she's the one being weird about it.
And then when they get to the bottom, to the boat, there's also Aphrodite's scarf.
Yes.
Which has, like, love magic still on it. And he, like, starts like,
rubbing it or something.
And she's like, stay away from that love magic seaweed braid or whatever.
She does. She's like, stay away from that love magic.
Oh, God.
She's like, just get this shield and let's go.
She is, like, so embarrassed about this. For, again, literally, like, he's making great points. We're in an abandoned water park.
Well, he literally says who's going to see us, and it gets literally broadcasted to Olympus.
But they end up looking really cool and not like they're on a thrill ride of love. Because they end up
exploding out of
this awesome wave.
Yeah.
And then surviving on their awesome powers of Annabeth's, like, brilliance and his water power, and then Grover's, shoes. And then he's like, good night, Olympus.
Yeah, he's like, good night, we're done.
It's so good.
So, and this is where I will then say that I think I get it to a degree why they couldn't do this, but I don't 100% get it. Like,
what about a lot of CGI? You need the spiders, then you need the wave coming.
Well, the wave coming couldn't be that big of a problem.
It's a giant wave that they have to jump off at the peak of, and then Grover has to catch them.
I feel like they could have done... Okay, so I really like this scene in the book.
I know, me too.
And I love the fact that this is when we find out that she's terrified of spiders. The amazing Annabeth, who is so brave,
in the TV show,
is terrified of spiders. Yeah, they're going to have to... I mean, depending on how far they go with this.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Like, you don't really actually have to know about that until the next series. And they may... I think we're going to be lucky if we can get through all 5 books.
Yeah, it'd be really crazy. I don't think they're going to...
the next hate series. To say it, but I really don't think we're going to do Heroes of Olympus.
I think he'd start doing other things first. Heroes of Olympus is hardy. Like, each book is thick, and there's 5 of them.
Yeah.
I think he would almost do, like, I don't know, he might even do, like, Magnus Chase before. Like, cause he's working on trying to do the Kane Chronicles adaptation. So... Anyways, if it ever happens...
But they wouldn't have to... See, the nice thing about that is they wouldn't have to use the same people, because these guys are going to get too old, But anyway, so they might not need to ever say the Annabeth's scared of spiders, but it was just nice to see that little human flaw, of hers and stuff. Okay, so they didn't. So I'm not going to go on to that too much, but I just wanted to put it out there that Kendra would I'm not happy with the change. I get it maybe, but I feel like there was something they could have done that was a little closer to this than this whole elaborate scheme. But that's okay.
Right.
Fine. They get into the thrill ride of love. They start going down the water. What's Love from Hathaway comes on, which is so awesome. That came out in 1993 in case anybody's interested.
That song is genuinely so good though.
Yeah. What is love?
So now this little drawing thing like lights up the sides of the walls, and you can see it's like Hephaestus's story from his birth until like Ares and Aphrodite gets together. And first of all, I just love that Hera, when she's pregnant with him, is like her head's like bopping along to the song, and then when you see baby Hephaestus, his head is also bopping, and then for the rest of it, they're not bopping along to the song anymore. But for those two people, I was like, I love that they're dancing to, like, this was clearly choreographed to this specific song. Yeah. That is so funny. Anyways, however, this story is not the right story. So here we see, the beginning is right.
I mean, even in the book, they say Zeus threw him off.
What? That's also not right.
Well, in this scene, they show Hera throwing him off the mountain. In the book, when she explains it, they say Zeus threw him off.
What? But then later in the book series, they say it's Hera again.
I'm sorry. I didn't write these books. I swear to God.
I swear they say it's Hera later because when they talk...
But either way, it's wrong, right?
When they talk to Hephaestus in, like, book, I don't know, 4? Yeah, probably 4. They talk to Hephaestus, and I believe you. But Hephaestus says, like, oh, yeah, my mom's all about family until the family doesn't fit into her perfect square, and then she'll, throw me off Mount Olympus.
Well, maybe she gave him to Zeus.
To throw off.
Yeah, she's like, never mind, throw him off.
She ordered Zeus to do it. Because it was Hera who, like, when he was born, he was, like, a little bit malformed. Not as bad as he was after he got thrown off Mount Olympus. But even when he was born, he wasn't like,
perfect.
Something. I don't know if it was his leg or
Are you telling the real...
Yeah.
Myth? Okay.
Yeah, something was a little bit wrong. And so she just was like, bye-bye, just tossed him, like, right out the window.
So that
But of course, he's a god and a baby, and so...
So that was correct. They did have that correct
yes.
in the...
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
They don't really show why, but they do show her throwing him
okay.
off. And, so that malforms him even more. So now it's his back, his leg, and his face are all a little bit wonky. Yeah, so he's like a little bit hunchbacked, and his leg, one of his legs I think is shorter. And then, I don't remember how Percy describes his face, but it's like...
Yeah,
it's definitely a little
bit flattened a bit, or it's something. Yeah.
So this is both a little bit of birth defect, and then of course again getting thrown off of a mountain.
Parental abuse.
Yeah, so it's not good. However, then in this TV show version, we then see him just like fall in love with Aphrodite, I guess, and then marry her, and then.
No, in the TV version, he ties up.
I'm just talking about in the little. I'm not. They later then talk about
this.
But just in this little like drawing animation thing, we just see him like love Aphrodite, and then she kind of rejects him, and then
you see her going off with Ares
shows up, and then Hephaestus like tries to stop them, and then Ares like beats him into the ground.
Okay,
you see that for like a second in the background while Percy and Annabeth are talking. You see you see Ares like beat him up.
Gosh,
it's not good.
No.
So yeah, and then we learn a little bit later that the way he even got Aphrodite was he set up this trap for his mom, because, you know, to be fair, he hates her. And then he wouldn't let her go, and all the gods tried to get her out of this chair, and no one could. And then finally they were like, what if we give you Aphrodite? Then will you let her out? And he was like, all right, sounds good to me.
I want the
awful
hot woman.
Yeah, so this is awful, first of all. This does not make him a good person at all. That's not good. However, that's not how it happens. In the actual myth, he's really not the bad guy in any story. Like, he genuinely isn't. The only thing he does, like, quote, bad is he does trap Aphrodite and Hephaestus. What?
Ares.
Aphrodite and Ares
in like a golden net, right?
Yeah. To make all the gods, like, and all the gods, like, pointed and laughed.
But again, she's cheating on him.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to get mad at him about that.
It's also hard for their relationship, because, so when she was born out of the sea foam, after, like, she's born from, like, a drop of the blood of the sky. Do you know the story? Like,
I do,
they
but
sliced
it's been a while.
Uranus, whatever, the god who is the sky,
mm-hmm.
who was married to Gaia, the god who is the earth.
Mm-hmm.
When they sliced him up, a drop of blood fell into the ocean, and it, like, mixed with the ocean, and she was then, like, you know, trillion years later, born from the sea foam.
Right.
And she steps out of the, ocean, and like then all the flowers bloom and all the birds show up, and she's like worshipped in the ocean, like forms a dress around her as she emerges. Like, it's like heaven was born.
Yes.
And all the gods instantly notice, and they all come down from Olympus, and they all start fighting over her hand in marriage. Like, she was born 1 second ago. Like, and they're all like trying to marry her, including Zeus. And then Hera is like, excuse me. I'm literally standing right here. All the female goddesses pretty much hate her right off the bat. Because, again, most of them are also married to, like, other gods. Anyways, so Zeus is like, oh, right. That's right, I'm married. So I'm your father now. And as your father, I get to decide who you're going to marry. And so Apollo and Ares and another god. Dionysus? No, I don't think so. Someone else. Not Hephaestus.
Okay.
We're, like, all, like, basically at each other's throats. Like, ready to kill for this woman. And Ares is like, Zeus is looking at them thinking, if I pick any of them, it's gonna cause a fight. Mm-hmm. And so he just kind of turns and sees his, like, crippled son. And he's like, I pick you, you're gonna marry her. And he's like, okay. Like, he didn't even care. He didn't even want, well, maybe he did want her, but he knew maybe he had no chance because of his, like, disability. So he got her, but he didn't even, whatever. And basically all the other brothers wouldn't fight him because he was too weak, or I don't know, they felt sorry for him, and so everyone just kind of let it go. But then Ares just started seeing her on the side, which made Hephaestus mad, because, like, after everything, now
I'm saddled with a wife who isn't even going to be faithful.
Yeah, and he was really sweet to her, and he would make her, like, beautiful jewelry, and, like, he could craft the most amazing things for her, but she, like, didn't care, and she's just vain.
Yeah.
And she just went with Ares.
Yeah.
And it sucks for him. He didn't even want this, and it's all sucks for Hephaestus. He didn't tie someone down to a chair and then was like, fine, only if I can marry Aphrodite. That's awful. That's awfulness. You can't do that to other people.
I wonder if they completely made that up or if it came from some other story. I feel like I've never heard that before.
He has done things to Hera. Like, that's not... It wouldn't be crazy for him to build a chair that's a trap for Hera. That might be a real story.
Yeah, he's mad at Hera.
Yeah,
she threw
because
him
she
off
threw him
mountain.
off the... Like, that's so fair. That's your child.
I also heard... I thought... Oh, no, I'm getting that mixed up with a different story. Never mind. Okay, good. Yeah, so we get like a totally different story. Like they kind of added a myth to this to make this make sense. But here we go. We're having this conversation. I did want to say one thing before they get to the shield, right?
Uh-huh.
He's talking about how, my mom was preparing me.
No, he says, Annabeth, maybe you're right. Maybe she wasn't preparing me enough. And then Annabeth's like, no.
Oh, that's right.
She was preparing you because she didn't want you to be like us.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, good. So I thought that conversation was interesting because that's like the first sign of Annabeth going like, okay, I think there's something wrong with how we're doing things, right?
Yeah.
And that happens right there. So that's kind of a strategic place for this conversation, whatever.
Like
She's thinking about it,
Yeah.
And then they come around the corner and they see the shield. And they see that up ahead, they're going to, like, I don't know, fall into something. I forget what it was. It looks scary.
It looks like a worse than
the one before,
down, yeah.
So they jump out into the water, and I don't think I ever noticed. I mean, I think I did, but I didn't really pay attention. So she's struggling in the water. Like, she can't, from the swimming, like, the water's, like, all, like, churning up at this point and stuff like that.
Because
the water's pulling through.
Yeah, it's pushing them towards, like, where they're going to go down the rest of the ride.
So he actually uses his water power for the very first time himself, as opposed to his dad doing it for him.
Yeah, unless you count, like, the water pulling in Nancy Boba Fett. But...
Oh, yeah, and also the exploding toilets. But see, those were accidental because he was mad.
Yeah.
This one, you see him...
He pushes out his hand.
Do it, yeah,
like,
and he gets her.
Yeah.
And then it suddenly shows them, like, out of the water, and she says something like, you used your water power or something?
And he's like, I don't know, like, I guess
Maybe,
I'm just, like, I'm just figuring this all out right now.
Yeah. I thought that was kind of cool.
It was cool to see him use his power like that. And this is the time to do it. Like, that is on board. He does use his power, like, for real, the first time, right in this scene in the book, too. Mm-hmm. It's just, instead, he causes a giant wave to form, which, to be fair, is way cooler than, like, I don't know, they didn't really show it, but I'm guessing he had the water pull Annabeth towards him. Yeah. But, yeah, anyways, it is cool. Before the ride turns into a roller coaster, and they're talking about how, like, oh, wow, this is how the Greek gods treat each other, like, my mom told me these stories, and she was trying to keep me away from you guys, right? Yeah. Percy says, maybe you were right. Maybe she wasn't preparing me enough. That's what he says to Annabeth, but I'm confused, because when did Annabeth ever tell Percy that his mom wasn't preparing him enough? Like, he says this, like, this is a conversation they've already have. He's like, maybe you were right. Maybe she should have been preparing me better. But I'm like, when did Annabeth say that his mom wasn't preparing him? Because I don't remember that happening.
I don't know.
Was it a deleted scene?
It could have been, because, we know there's a lot of deleted scenes, things that were taken out.
Because it just didn't make sense. It didn't make sense the first time I watched it, and it made even less sense this time. I was like, okay, I can't remember one time that Annabeth's like, oh, your mom should have prepared you better. What? She's never said that to him.
Well, if any of our listeners know, feel free to let us know.
Yeah. Maybe
we missed something or we're forgetting something.
I'm like, maybe, but I just couldn't. I feel like I would have noted that down very specifically, because we know that Annabeth and Sally get along very well. They love each other.
Yeah.
I know they don't know each other yet, but, like, it would have been weird for her to, like, straight up, like, oh, your dead mom? Yeah, she should have prepared you better. Like, that would have been an insane thing for her to say to Percy. Yeah. So, it must have been cut out, because it was so weird when he was like, yeah, maybe you were right. I was like, right about what? When did this conversation happen?
Yeah, I don't know.
The other thing is, I hope they make this exact ride. I want to go on this ride. Like a fun boat ride that then turns into a roller coaster. Yeah. Like, they'd have to make the boat, whatever, like, they have to do a little bit differently, because it doesn't look very safe.
It would be fun. I mean, now that we've got this in Disney, and, you never know. I mean, it takes a while for Disney to get new rides, though.
Yeah.
Like, the Tiana, Princess Tiana from, what is it, the Frog?
The Princess and the Frog.
Thank you. Like, why can't I get it out? Her ride's just now coming out in Disney World.
And didn't that come out, like,
has that been out
over a decade?
But see, they can't just like build a new ride for everything. You know what I mean? So they're actually they're repurposing Splash Mountain
Right.
and turning it into that. So, anyways, I don't know. So who knows? We may never get a Percy Jackson ride.
But they could also repurpose Tiana's ride and turn it into this.
Because it's a water ride.
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. But you know, if all 5 seasons get made and they're all as successful as season 1,
they might
want to. I can see them doing a ride. And this would be easy because it's already mapped out.
No one come at me, but they could always repurpose It's a Small World into the Percy Jackson ride.
You know what? They definitely could. Except for that whole thing is just a small, like an easy boat ride. So
I know. They'd have to add a lot
they'd
of
have
stuff.
to suddenly like turn it into a roller coaster.
But that's one of those rides that people either love or they hate, and so
I just feel like it's too iconic for them to really get rid of.
I think so too.
And then the very last thing is when they do come out of the water, like right before we go into the next scene with Grover, which we're like laying into a different episode. Yeah, they're laying and they're talking about the water powers, and then they both sit up, and they're both in like this perfect kneeling, like worshiping.
Oh.
Like both of them are kneeling on their knees, but not like sitting on their feet. You know, like when you're on your knees, but you're sitting on your feet. Mm-hmm. No, both of them are like straight up kneeling.
Yeah.
And looking up at this giant statue, and the camera is positioned like behind them, and it literally looks like they're worshiping.
Is the statue of Aphrodite or Hera?
I think it's supposed to be Aphrodite, but we don't really get a good glimpse at
all. We know is that the chair, because it does look at the chair, and the chair has peacock feathers, which is
not just peacock feathers, like the arms are like peacocks.
Okay, yeah,
and so then the rest of
it's a peacock themed chair, which we're not getting into. That conversation happens next.
Yeah.
In the next
However,
scene.
we know that peacocks are Hera's sacred animal.
So I think that's Aphrodite holding the shield.
So. I think it's supposed to be, because when they talk about Aphrodite, they pan up to the statue. Yeah. And that's the only time you get a kind of good look at it, but you don't get to really see. I mean, it's not like we even know what Aphrodite's supposed to look like yet. So.
No, really. And the shield has a boar's head in the front.
Which is correct.
Is that like an Aries
that's
symbol?
Aries'
kind of like the owl, Athena?
Yeah, so, yeah. A lot of the gods have their own animals. So
okay.
The owl for Athena, the boar for Ares, the horse for Poseidon, the
peacock for
Hera. Yeah. I think it's like a deer for Artemis. Pretty sure hers is a deer.
That would make sense.
And then what is Apollo's? Oh my gosh, I don't even know.
Does Aphrodite have one?
Yeah,
is it a dove?
Pretty sure it's a dove. I was gonna say I think it might be a dove, but don't quote me on that one. So, anyways, his is a boar, which makes sense. Sounds like a god
pig-headed and also really strong.
Yeah,
and maybe not really smart.
No.
Yeah. Okay, good. So that really takes us to where we want to end, because otherwise we won't. I mean, I feel like we have so much to say on this next couple of scenes, but I think that the last 3 scenes will be good enough for next episode.
Yep.
So we might be a little bit. We'll see. This might be a shorter episode, but that's okay.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Do we have a question prepared?
Do we ever have a question prepared?
If you wanted to get a wife, who would you hold hostage?
No. Well, I'm not particularly looking for a wife, although it'd be nice to have sometimes a second one of me. But no, that's not my question. Let me think.
Okay. I got it. If you were going to name a funny amusement park ride, what would you name the ride?
What does the ride do? Anything I want it to do?
If you want a theme, you can say it's a love ride. Or it can just be any ride you want it to be.
There's so many options. I'm going to name it Faster Than a... No. What is it? Speeding Bullet? No, what's that?
Faster Than a Beating Heart?
No, what's that from?
No, Faster Than a Speeding Bullet is from
Superman.
Yeah. It could be called Faster Than a Beating Heart.
There you go.
That's a pretty cute name. I feel like I would name mine, I want it to be about, like, a broken heart. Like, a really, like, scary ride that's, like, broken heart themed. Like,
My achy, breaky heart.
My achy, breaky... ride. No, what rhymes with heart? Heart.
No one's gonna go on a ride called Breaky.
That's the thrill of it.
Yeah, you don't know. Are you gonna come out the other side?
Yeah, there you go. That's
like a ride in Universal that I've never been on, but I've seen it so many times. Like it goes straight up, like straight vertical up, right? And on the way up, it gets stuck. And people get stuck there sometimes for over an hour.
And the sun must be directly in your face.
In your face. Who even knows? That's not even the point I'm thinking. I'm just thinking of being in that position. I mean, I feel like, I don't know. Anyway, so I've seen this thing. This is one of those rides that I will never set foot on because I literally do not know if I'm going to be stuck. You know, I mean, like, it seems like it's like a coin toss. Like, are you going to make it off this ride in 5 minutes? Or are you going to be there for an hour getting a view of the sun? Like, scary.
You just got to put on, 10 pounds of sunscreen and then go on the ride. Sure. At least you won't come across like a
And it does have music playing. Like, you actually have music playing in your, like, what's it called? Speakers next to your thing. I think you even get a pick which music is playing on this thing. It's like
that's awesome.
Rip Ride Rocket and Universal. But, like, the last time I was there, I saw them bringing people down because they were stuck up there for so long. So I'm just like, no, thank you. Anyways, that's not going to be my ride. That's fair. Faster than a beating heart ride that you actually named for me, not me. So.
Oh, well, that's where I thought you were going with it.
I don't know where I was going with it. I was so caught off guard there. Well, I didn't come up with any cute questions, so that's all I have to say.
Okay, you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and Threads at Camp Comparison Podcast. And we have an email address, which is campcomparisons@gmail.com if you want to name your lovely ride of love, or any other puns you have for any other rides.
And you don't even have to even email us. You could go on to, hopefully we remember to post saying, hey, this week's episode is out, and you can even comment on that.
True, but if you want to describe the exact way the ride would go with pictures of the design work, email us.
Definitely email that.
campcomparisons@gmail.com. Yeah.
And tell your friends about us. Tell your Percy Jackson friends. Tell your Percy Jackson groups, your Percy Jackson Discords, your Percy Jackson, whatever, fun groups. And tell them about this podcast.
Right. And you can also rate and review our podcast. And if you give us a 5-star review, we'll read your review on the podcast.
Yeah. Okay, until next time.
See you at camp.
Bye. Bye.